From a highway suspect tied to a missing person case and a street racer who turned a freeway into his personal track to a reckless driver who led troopers into a downtown demolition derby, and much more, here are the moments when police chases ended in total destruction. At 3:17 in the morning on March 11, 2023, the Georgia State Patrol caught a glimpse of something no trooper wants to see. On a quiet freeway, two modern machines slicing through I-20 like guided missiles. A Dodge Charger and a Tesla Model 3 were locked in a street race, pushing triple-digit speeds and weaving through traffic like it was a video game. But this wasn't fantasy, and one wrong move could have ended in real tragedy, as one of them peeled off the other, made a decision that turned a traffic stop into something far more dangerous.
I'll call it. Stay in a warm southbound.
That moment came just beyond University Avenue. It didn't take much a single decisive action, and the entire chase flipped on its head both literally and figuratively.
Hold on.
Get him up!
The driver, later identified as Joseph Smith, was taken into custody without further incident. Troopers noticed the strong scent of alcohol on his breath and quickly initiated a chemical test, which Smith agreed to. He was transported to Grady Hospital for evaluation due to possible spinal concerns, but was released later that same day. Warrants were filed, and his charges now include DUI, felony fleeing, and reckless driving a hard crash back into reality after a high-voltage run.
Another hit.
It was March 7th, 2024, when a white Ford Fusion caught the attention of multiple law enforcement agencies in Atlanta. This wasn't just any random traffic stop. The vehicle had ties to a recent auto theft, and everyone involved knew it might not end quietly. The Georgia State Patrol's Crime Suppression Unit, backed by the city's aviation and auto crimes units, moved in with caution. Officers boxed in the Fusion at a parking lot near Martin Luther King Jr. Drive, expecting compliance. What they got instead was a full-blown adrenaline sprint through the city.
He's got a blank around. Give a second. Traffic gonna go up. I'm here. Alright, we're 1080.
All units hold 10-3, 1033, unit 795, 1080, 20 eastbound, okay, white Ford Fusion, 795, which is dated 20.
Right on the Virgin.
Clear right on Merton.
Coming up to I-20, going I-20.
The troopers weren't waiting around. They boxed him in with force, rattling the Fusion until it could no longer stay in motion. When it came to an ugly stop, it wasn't pretty, but it was final.
Clear on pit.
Another hit.
The driver, later identified as Juwan Jackson, ditched the wreck and bolted straight into the tree line. A K-9 unit followed in fast pursuit, and for a brief moment, Jackson found out just how much bite that pursuit carried. Jackson was finally tracked beneath an overpass along a set of railroad tracks where a well-placed taser brought his run to an end. He was charged with reckless driving, felony, fleeing obstruction, driving with a suspended license. Plus, he had active warrants for criminal damage. All this from what started as a window tint violation measured at just 16%. But what really doomed him wasn't the tint, it was thinking he could outrun the Georgia State Patrol.
1842, he just crashed out.
Miami's highways have seen their fair share of chaos, but what happened on March 16, 2025 pushed the needle into full-blown recklessness. Trooper Mulvey was cruising westbound on SR 826 when a black Mustang with white stripes came barreling into view, slicing through traffic like it owned the road. At over 120 miles per hour, the Mustang wasn't just trying to outrun the law, it was gambling with traffic time and physics. Cutting across shoulders, dancing between lanes, and brushing past other drivers, the chaos reached a level where one mistake could have sparked a pileup. It all came to a head when the Mustang approached an intersection that couldn't be ignored. A steady red light crossed traffic and a complete disregard for timing set the stage for the kind of ending no one walks away from cleanly.
1842, he just crashed out.
The driver, Alejandro Garcia Estrada, had to be pulled from the overturned Mustang with help from an off-duty Miami-Dade deputy. But instead of relief, officers were met with fists. Estrada resisted forcing a taser deployment, and once detained, tried to bribe his way out of charges. He was medically cleared and booked without further drama, but the list of charges that speaks for itself. In the end, it wasn't just speed that got him caught, it was every bad decision after.
Show me your hands! Show me your hands! Put your hands up!
On April 3rd, 2022, a chase broke out through the tight arteries of Little Rock's downtown district. Arkansas State Trooper Jacob Bird wasn't expecting the suspect to flee, but once those taillights bolted through the city, the game was on. The driver had no license, and even less sense opting to run through intersections instead of facing a ticket. By the time they reached 8th Street, it was clear this wasn't going to end with a casual traffic stop.
Still east on 16, come up the road. East on 16, approaching Broadway. We're on now past 188. So we're going south on Broadway. South on Broadway.
going into 17th and Broadway, the gas station.
Copy, pulling the gas station, 17 on Broadway.
Going back north on Broadway now.
Back north on Broadway.
The suspect didn't just run, he practically danced through city blocks, blowing red lights like they weren't even there. It wasn't just risky. It was a full-on crash course in how to dodge traffic laws with zero grace.
We're crossing 630. Still heading north. 9th Street.
Copy, successful dark day, still north towards 9th, Broadway.
Still northbound. He's gained a lot of distance on me. No, it's not north of Broadway.
Copy, still north of Broadway.
Crossing Broadway, going into North Rock now. Just crossing.
Crossing the river on Broadway.
Will you pull start 37 and let me know? Turn right on Hickory. Turning left on the Bishop Lindsay. I think he's trying to get to some apartment complex.
Copy, right on the Hickory, and left on the Bishop.
Now left onto North Beach. North on North Beach.
But while the suspect banked on speed, Trooper Bird relied on timing. Just as the driver was gearing up for one more turn, the trooper delivered a response that flipped the entire equation literally.
Show me your hands! Show me your hands! Put your hands up!
When it was all said and done, the suspect stepped out of the car with a laundry list of excuses and a phone that wouldn't stop ringing. Officers retrieved the essentials, but the conversation shifted fast from lighters and sisters to handcuffs and charges. The suspect was booked without further incident, but one thing's certain: the city grid keeps score, and this time it tallied up every red light he ran.
Jesus Christ.
He's about 100 miles an hour on the shore.
Signal force! Signal 4, Signal 4!
December 21st, 2024 started with a routine call about a domestic disturbance on Palm Drive in Monroe County. But when one of the responding deputies keyed his radio with just 2 words, "Send help," things took a sharp and dangerous turn. What began as a neighborhood dispute quickly became something no one could have predicted, especially once the man they were dealing with decided to hijack a patrol car in nothing but his birthday suit.
He just stole my patrol car. He's running northbound. Lights are on. He tried to take my gun from my holster. He's got my rifle in the car. He's running northbound code.
I got a visual. I'm setting up at 104.
Lopez didn't just steal one vehicle, he upgraded. Right there on the side of the road, he made a bold move into a red SUV and floored it northbound, leaving a trail of dust and sirens behind. With traffic thick and his foot heavier than ever, the chaos was just getting started.
Get out, get out.
I'm at the 104. Traffic is very heavy, but I'm set up.
High speed meets hard consequences. The moment Lopez made contact with another driver, the chase hit a whole new level of chaos. What followed was the kind of wreck you don't walk away from unless you're incredibly lucky or incredibly reckless.
Go, get the f out, go! Jesus Christ.
He's about 100 miles an hour on the shore.
Signal 4. Signal 4. Signal 4.
Lopez was found hunched over inside the wrecked vehicle alive, but definitely not going anywhere on his own. Even after medical attention, he made officers wrestle him into a cruiser, all while mumbling haunting phrases like, "Did I kill anyone? And I'll do my 15-20 years." Turns out the man had a suspended Florida license from a prior DUI and a valid one in Colorado, not that either helped his case. He's now facing a long list of charges, and probably a longer list of regrets. It started quietly on July 5th, 2025, just after midnight in Garland County. Deputies spotted a blue BMW SUV tearing through the dark, and they weren't about to let it disappear into the hills. With the suspect showing no signs of slowing, Arkansas State Police were called in for backup. That call landed on the desk of Trooper Daniel Thace. What happened next would test every bit of patience, timing, and steel behind the wheel. The suspect was bold enough to try playing chicken with the trooper's tactics. As Thace maneuvered in for a move that should have turned the tide, the suspect hit the brakes hard, forcing the trooper to swerve and abandon the setup entirely.
Here, both begin boxing in.
But it was the final twist that no one saw coming. With both vehicles locked in a deadly dance on a narrow stretch of road, one wrong move sent the situation spiraling. And when it did, it wasn't just the suspect who paid the price.
Trooper's right. I got both of them here. I need this light that started now.
I'm all right. I'm all right. I'm good.
By the time it was all over, both the SUV and the patrol unit were resting in the ditch, and neither the suspect nor the trooper had remained upright. The driver, later identified as Sean O'Brien, was pulled from the wreck and taken into custody by Garland County deputies. He now faces a laundry list of charges, including theft, by receiving fleeing reckless driving, and several violations tied to insurance and road rules. Just one more reminder that when you gamble with a state trooper, there's no such thing as a clean getaway. On May 7th, 2022, a brand new Nissan Armada was out for a reckless night cruise, but it wasn't the kind you show off at car meets. This wasn't a test drive. It was a test of patience for law enforcement across county lines. Local Arkansas agencies spotted the SUV, but instead of chasing it themselves, they called in the Real Closers Arkansas State Police. Enter Trooper Michael Tompkins, a man who doesn't chase blindly but plays to win.
Everything from Corning on Fracture. Vegas, why they have a unit by Vegas.
It's going to be Missouri 5 Charles Boyd, X-ray 03, 5 Charles Boyd, X03. Advise when we're coming by Nuisance Junkyard through mid-20 wire here in just a minute.
Okay.
Speed's 99.
Just as the Armada surged ahead into triple-digit speeds, Trooper Tompkins made a counterintuitive move. He backed off. But it wasn't hesitation. It was a calculated pause to clear the road for spike strips, all while the suspect barreled ahead like nothing could touch him. What he didn't know was that the real trap had already been set and the clock was ticking.
There's the relief bridge coming up on Black River. I'm going to back off for just a minute. I see their blue lights.
These floors down. Maybe you're allowed to get it. And before you get to the town, it's in four.
Gas company there. Now we've got some houses. Let's see what he does here at the intersection.
Y'all would be better notify them Missouri hours, but power there.
He just took straight on City Street.
In the final act, Trooper Tompkins closed the gap with precision, and the Armada's momentum turned against it. The suspect's move to escape ended not with a bang, but with the scrape of bumper on door.
I've got him in a dead-end spot. school. Charles, right here.
Corey Thomas, the driver from Missouri, turned out to be intoxicated, unlicensed, and apparently unfamiliar with the concept of consequences. He was taken into custody and faced multiple charges, including DWI and possibly possession of a stolen vehicle. His excuse? He said he found the SUV running outside a liquor store. Arkansas State Police didn't buy it, and neither did the laws of motion. It was November 8th, 2022, when Covington officers found themselves patrolling a quiet road with a much bigger mystery on their hands, a missing person case still without answers. While scanning the area, they spotted a silver Toyota SUV creeping away from the scene like it had something to hide. The driver didn't stick around to chat. Instead, he pulled a move that instantly turned suspicion into a full-blown manhunt.
Hey, Gene, where you going?
Coming up on Kingdom Hall, 36 southbound still, Kingdom Hall.
Kingdom Hall.
Radio speeds are 95 miles an hour. Traffic's light.
9 miles traffic lane.
Radio, did Covenant PD get the 28s on it?
On roads not built for that kind of speed, the SUV pushed past 90 miles per hour, ignoring every posted limit and threading through traffic like it wasn't there. For those watching the pursuit unfold, it was clear this wasn't about a simple ticket.
They're asking attorney to take over as an CPD.
Right, what are their charges?
They haven't advised yet.
They're almost at, alright, I'm back up with them again. We're not too far from 212. Just came past the EMC power station.
Check second. Okay, I don't know, but I can't get up there. I can't see.
Thomas and 80 for service southeast.
Radio, the PD's still in the lead.
There's just continues there, good 20. Advising on Picket First Road on the curb.
I'm 212 coming up the Picket Bridge.
10-4.
Alright, GSP is behind us. We are now headed toward Potts' store. If you'll ask Covenant if they'll back off, we'll let this trooper pit him. They got to get off of his bumper, though.
With troopers waiting just ahead, all it took was a green light to move in. GSP was about to show how precision and timing can flip the script in a matter of seconds. Jesse Hardiman, the man behind the wheel that day, turned a police presence into a chase and a chase into a pile of serious felonies. Alongside traffic offenses, police discovered multiple firearms, including one with an extended clip-stolen tags and a list of suspended credentials longer than his getaway route. A Newton County jury didn't hesitate. He's now serving a 40-year sentence with 13 of those behind bars. Sometimes the moment you try to disappear is the moment everything comes into focus.
Yeah, 10-4.
It was the kind of alert that makes every trooper sit up straight. On May 11th, 2025, dispatch put out a bolo for a black Mitsubishi Eclipse reported stolen in Fort Myers by two blonde women, one tall with tattoos and the other shorter, both possibly armed. The carjacking had taken place not far from Bell Boulevard, and now the vehicle was possibly headed toward I-75. With only a vague direction and a weapon in play, troopers across the region started scanning traffic, knowing full well how quickly this kind of thing can escalate. The suspects thought they could thread the needle one more time, but this time the margin for error disappeared. As the road narrowed and options vanished, the outcome came crashing into view literally.
794 48, vehicle southbound, did not exit. Yeah, it's simple.
With both suspects cuffed and cleared by EMS investigators quickly linked them to the armed carjacking that started it all, Stacy Leah and Pryor Lee now face a long list of charges, and the recovered firearm only deepens the legal hole they've dug. The Eclipse was towed, the case documented, and the lesson is clear: FHP doesn't just chase, they finish. On December 8, 2022, Trooper Anna Escamilla with the Arkansas State Police was expecting a routine patrol shift. What she got instead was a slow-motion standoff that started with an elderly man behind the wheel of a red Nissan pickup and absolutely no interest in pulling over. The truck looked like it was about to stop, at first coasting gently along the shoulder like it had second thoughts. But this guy wasn't second-guessing anything. He just hadn't committed to the chaos yet. Once the decision to run was locked in, there was no going back. As the pursuit escalated, it became clear the driver had no exit strategy, only momentum. What happened next was swift, jarring, and the kind of outcome that leaves both bumpers and egos bruised. The elderly suspect was safely removed from the vehicle and taken into custody without serious injury. He now faces DUI charges along with resisting arrest and fleeing. The real shock, though, wasn't the chase, it was how long he held out, doing absolutely nothing. Even after the wall stopped the truck, it took two troopers, a baton, and a broken window to stop the man behind the wheel. If you thought this one was intense, wait until you see what happens next. Click over to the next video, you won't want to miss it. Appreciate you being here, and be sure to subscribe for more.